And I'm here today to talk to you about the new ATF rule on NFA item compliance. So essentially, this new rule affects anyone who plans to buy a short-barreled weapon, a suppressor, a machine gun, explosive devices, or a weird kind of subject called AOWs or any other weapons. So essentially, this new rule applies to NFA-regulated items. Now, this rule will go into effect probably in the June-July area of 2016. It's 180 days from the day it's published in the Federal Register. But what this rule says, in essence, there are going to be two big changes, especially for people who own items through an NFA trust and wish to purchase new ones. The new rule introduces two concepts. The first one, formerly, in the old days, people would have to get a certification from a chief law enforcement officer if they were buying as an individual that they were not going to use those weapons for any unlawful purposes. That has been or will be stripped out of all the forms. Instead, it will only require notification to the chief law enforcement officer, but that notification applies to individuals, to NFA trusts, and corporations. The second prong of this now is that people will have to send in fingerprint cards, photographs, for every responsible person on a trust. Responsible person means anybody who can possess the item. So a trustee, co-trustees, in a corporation, any agent, or anyone who can possess the item will have to send in fingerprint cards and photo IDs to the ATF. So it's going to be a huge undertaking for people with a lot of trustees or a lot of agents in their company to send in these cards and information to the government. It'll also be background checked while it's at the ATF, which may or may not increase processing times. Items that are already legally owned will be grandfathered in to the new law. So if you already have NFA items that you lawfully own, you don't have to worry about this. But if you plan to purchase one after kind of the June-July area, you will be under this new regime. The takeaway from this is if you want to avoid all of this kind of red tape and headache, now is the time to purchase an item. Now is the time to get your trust set up so you can already have your foot in the door before this new rule goes into effect.